Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. Interviews are energized by Dubby. The merchandise is available from our friends at ziashirts.com. And the hair, yeah, I'm getting it done this week. It'll look better in a couple hours from Barber, Gabe's Fade here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We got a great interview in store for you today. History is about to be made as the global expansion continues for BKFC. And on night two, we have a first ever women's featherweight champion to be crowned. Jessica Borga, thank you for the time. How you doing?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. And I cannot wait to make history as the first 145 world champ and the last until I decide to retire.
What does that mean to you? The journey that you've had in combat sports, and not to mention the years put into bare knuckle to be at this moment to have this fight.
I got goosebumps right now. This is the moment that I've waited for. This is what I've worked my ass off for my entire career, really. But when I found bare knuckle, it was just, this is what I was meant to do. And I truly, like everyone that knows me believes it as well. And I'm just excited to showcase. I'm just excited to get that belt, and I know what's going to happen, and it is what it is. I can't wait to show.
You had the MMA journey first. A lot of us got to see you compete in Bellator. So you've seen big stages, but now you get to be in that spotlight. Did those moments at Bellator kind of give you any preparation for what it would be like to then be the focal point eventually?
Yeah, honestly, the big crowds have always fueled me. I never got nervous with big crowds. The pressure of that never got to me. I loved it. Like I literally fuel from it. So yeah, it definitely helps you to an extent. It depends on the person, I guess. But man, the big crowds, I freaking love it. And on my entire career, I've always went to their hometown. So I was actually always the bad guy. And I'm always the bad guy. So I'm okay going into enemy territory. I'm okay with all that. Like none of that's ever bothered me. The big stages excite me. And it's something to showcase, and the world's gonna see it. This is the biggest BKFC event to date, and I just am stoked to and honored to be part of it. The co-main event and the first 145 world women's champ. It's just amazing. I can't wait.
When the fight gets pitched to you, how many of those details are brought to you, like the location, the whole atmosphere, if it's a 2 day event? Like, how are you finding out about this stuff and what's your reaction?
Honestly, we were told about the 145 title and possibly Hannah and like the possible opponent and everything. We were all talking about this for a while before it actually got into, at first I believe I was told Tampa that it was going to be the fight, and I was like, hey, that's my hometown. Like that that'd be cool too. I really don't care where it is. Dubai though, I mean, that's freaking amazing. So if you're going to pick the two, I'd definitely pick Dubai. But it just kind of all fell together. I knew it was probably going to be soon. They said something maybe possibly about the UK. And then I was like, man, it'd be awesome to be on the same card as Brandon. And then it freaking happened. Just like the universe gave it to it. It's just perfect.
So when you hear everything, what's the emotions? What's the feelings like when everything comes out, the announcement's made, and now you know that it's really happening? Because I know some dates are thrown out, some events are thrown out, and it doesn't go through.
Which is that's pretty common too. So you get kind of used to hearing this and hearing that, and nothing for me is set in stone until that contract signed. So as soon as that contract was signed and it was real, like it was announced, it the emotions just excited. Like the feeling you can't get from anywhere else. Like the moment that walking out, the weigh-ins, the everything. It's just different emotions, but it's all calculated into one when it comes in when you're walking down that walk and you get in there and start fighting. It's just I get goosebumps, like literally goosebumps. I don't know if you can see it. I freaking live and breathe for this sport. This is what I do. This is what I love. I mean, it's who I am.
Is there any possible way to describe how this and the passion for bare knuckle is different from MMA?
Oh man, for me, oh, it's crazy. A lot of people maybe have to transition to bare knuckle. I never had to. What happened?
I think my internet went out for a second.
I was like, recording stopped. All right, well, we're back. But it was never a transition for me. A lot of people have to adapt, and for me, it's natural. I am a very violent, very fast-paced, very aggressive, and I'm powerful. Like this is just it's perfect. It is who I am 100%. Like with MMA, don't get me wrong, I loved MMA. I still love MMA. But when you find something that is way more your style and who you are and just you enjoy it more, that's where you belong, it's just how it's just how I felt the moment I did it. And I love boxing. I love boxing. I wish I would have got started in it a long time ago, but I'm so excited to showcase what I've learned since just concentrating on one sport rather than multiple combat sports. It's
Back in
dangerous.
2022, as you're preparing for the BKFC debut, were you questioning what you were doing? Did you already have an inkling that this was going to be for you?
I did. I actually, the moment they contacted me when they first got started, like years ago, but I was contracted with Bellator. So I was like, oh, not until, I'm done with my contract. I'm trying to work for the top on I was in 145 division, so I was in the top 10. So I had other plans at the moment, but the moment that they offered, I was like, man. And even the person that offered it to me, Kevin Smith, I want to say, he was like, "You are meant for this. This is for you." And I'm like, "Man, I know. I can tell. I knew from the moment that I saw it that it was for me, and it just kept itching at me and itching at me." So I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. I said, I'm getting out of my contract. I had one fight left with Bellator. I asked to be released. I was waiting around for a fight, every year, which hasn't been much different yet right now, but it's okay. More girls are coming and they're gonna be more girls when there's a 145 title. I'm sure of it. But I just it's for me, this is where I'm gonna be. This is where I'm gonna stay.
You think about that, it was a lot of resolve for you to continue down this path. 2022, you debut, you blow the doors off the place, basically. Like you announced your presence, and then it's a lot of social media after that. It's a lot of these fights not happening. So what kept you going after this goal, this journey, and staying with the sport?
Because of how much I think it's just me. It's who I am. There's people that, MMA, that's for them. And I thought it was until I did this one. And this, it's just me. This is who I am. So I'm not going anywhere. I'll wait if I need to for a fight, but all of us can only fight for so long. It's not like we, we have an expiration date at some point. But until I cannot go out there and do what I do best, I'm gonna keep fighting. So
We've all heard about it by now. You basically had to track down this fight. Is that a good way to describe it?
kinda. I don't. Ah, man, I feel like they're really pinning me out to be the bad guy again, but I'm okay with that because sometimes you got to make a little bit of noise to get what you want. But she made the noise first. There's not a lot of girls in the 145 division yet for BKFC, as we all know. She fought a 35er at first. I fought a 35er. There's been some play with, the weight classes and stuff like that because there's just not a lot of girls. And the moment someone sent an interview of hers, and it was like I want to say the bare knuckle UK interview, and she said Borga's sitting at the 145, the top of the 145 division, and I'd love a crack at that fight. That would be a great fight. And she was planning on coming to the BKFC, but not nothing was signed yet. There was no multi-fight contract yet or anything. So I was like, I even made a video. I was even nice about it. I was like, hey, it's great. We're getting some girls our size, with some boxing background. She's a two-time world champ. That excites me. I love anyone who has like a resume and undefeated and like all that stuff has always been just extra fuel for my fire. So I made a video and was like excited about it. I was like, you know, welcome, I'll be glad to welcome you to America because she said she wanted to come to America. Then it started to be like, all right, she came in, she's like, well, I'm here to take over. Yeah, well, I'm the only one you can fucking take it from. So then I kind of got like, all right, huh. She kind of was a little disrespectful about it, but it's okay. Then it just started where she's saying like I started talking. I'm like, no, I responded, but that's fine. I'm the bad guy. It's fine.
Don't think you have to be called the bad guy. I more want to give you credit because it almost feels like from BKFC, they're like, it's the fight that makes sense. We know it's the fight that makes sense, but we almost need people to want to beg for it, like the general audience before we're gonna give it. So I don't know
And you got to
without
make
that
noise.
moment.
Yeah, you got to make some noise. So, you know, she said, I'll see you in Philly, Black Widow Borga. I said, yes, you will. I really wasn't even planning on going to Philly. But the moment that I saw that she tagged me in that, I'm like, I booked my ticket, I booked my stay that night. I was like, I'll see you there. And I wanted to make sure she knew my presence was known. So I went up to her and Faria actually, uh, and was like, I'm not surprised at all. You two bitches are sitting next to each other chit-chatting because we've had some beef too. And she's like, you know, she started saying what she wanted to say. I said, I wanted to make sure that you saw that I was here. I was being nice, at kind of nice at first anyway, making my presence known, but being my cocky little self. And it started, you know, that little altercation that got viral, I guess you can say. But yeah, apparently I ran up to her yelling. It is what it
Without the
is.
viralness, we don't have the title fight. So either way, it was effective.
Exactly. So there's a little bit of bad blood too, and everyone loves a little bit of bad blood. You know, it's the USA against the UK, pretty much. So I'm excited though because I know for a fact that she is not or has not planned and trained for me because I'm a completely different version from even a year ago. So I can't wait. I just can't wait. Just can't wait.
How much of a motivational factor is it? The resume that she brings, the pedigree of a boxing world champion, and her aim is to be a two-sport world champion. And you can put a halt to all that. How motivating is it?
Absolutely. It's I can't even explain because that kind of stuff just literally fuels me in another aspect completely, honestly. Everyone that I've gone against that has high caliber, everyone that like you can just tell from my resume. And it's kind of funny, you know, I think she's underestimating me a little bit, saying the things that she's said, which I never underestimate anyone. Anyone that steps foot in that ring, I've always given respect to. It's fine if she's underestimating me, but the caliber that the resume, I could say, for her just excites me because that makes me work harder. That makes me be as perfect as I can be. You know, that excites me. And to beat someone on that oh, just is so much better. It's so much better because boxing, I'm going to show how different it is from bare knuckle boxing. I'm going to show her it's two different sports.
You've had two fights in BKFC, but we have a whole lot more footage of Hannah for you to look at because of the amount of time that she's been in there. Did you
And she said she's
see
had more experience in the squared circle. I'm like, yeah, that's because you didn't finish either your opponent or your opponent. I'm sorry, I finished both of mine before one round is complete, like total. So yeah, I guess she's had more experience in the squared circle than me. That's what she said. I was like, okay, that's not gonna save you, but all right.
Did you feel like you're watching a boxer try to do bare knuckle, or what did you get from those 10 minutes?
Yeah, I definitely, I mean, like I said, some people I think that need that first fight to, and it could, you know, it could have just been the first fight thing. She had a change of opponent at the last minute. There's a lot of things that could have come into play. I want her to have altered anything that she needs to alter to feel like she is, and it seems like she is. She's, you know, she's training hard. I want her to be the best she can be. I want to beat her at her best. So I want her to be the best. I don't want her to be not herself. I don't want her to have a recap of last time. Even though when I punch her in the face with my power, she's gonna recap. I can guarantee it.
That's something. Right away, Hannah, she got the battle scars from a BKFC fight. We saw it matching under both sides. Is that something, that scar tissue already something that you think you may be able to take advantage of?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we all know, scars open up even easier, and she took a hell of a lot of damage, like a lot of damage. And I think that, of course, they're going to work on her head movement. They're going to work on all these things to become better at the sport. But in my opinion, and I could, people could be not the same opinion, whatever, but in this sport, you have to have a certain way about you. I guess I'll say that. And I didn't see that with her. And it's not to say that she doesn't have it. Some people will come back in their second fight and be better, and that's fine. But I just, you have to be a very violent, aggressive, and having the power that I do for a female, that is very beneficial. But the calculated technique that I have now is just, I mean, I don't, they're not gonna know what to expect with me. And I haven't, like you said, I haven't really got to show any of my technique that I've been working on for the last couple of years. So, um, I haven't had to, but it's kind of like a secret weapon.
I was going to bring that up. How much do the coaches feel that we have not seen what you can do, that there's so much more, and that it feels like there's just aces up the sleeves, I would gather?
They talk about it all the time. Honestly, they say that I'm constantly progressing, just constantly improving, and I can't wait to showcase that. So it's fine if I don't, because I've been finishing them with just my power and aggression. But to be calculated and within this sport, it is good to be controlled chaos. So, and that's been my main goal, is be controlled chaos.
You have a teammate that you're sharing the card with. What does that mean that you two are going through camp, going to be on this travel, this journey side by side?
It's awesome. Me and him are main training partners anyway. And Dave Mundell, Larry Moore, we have such an amazing group of people, honestly, that just, I mean, we have high level elite bare knuckle boxers that we get to train with coaches that see things that other coaches don't. It's just the team that we have is just incredible. So being able to be on the same card, which is kind of funny because I've been on the same card with him before, and it was actually before I was at shift. So we've been before, and it's fun. It's great to have the team there. It's awesome to showcase on the same card, especially the fight before. He's right before me, so it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
How close are we, do you feel, to having you be active, getting to consistently fight? Because I'm sure that's another big goal.
I don't know, but I hope it's going to be more active. I want to at least fight, 3 times a year would be amazing. At least I would fight more than that. I would fight every weekend if especially if you finish them in the first round, or second round, and you're out without like much damage. Come on, you can still fight like pretty soon after. It would be great to be able to fight more often, but let's just hope for it.
The title's on the line. It's this massive event. It's first time ever. It's the culmination of a whole lot of work. Like, does it almost feel like this isn't real because you've been working for it so long?
It is surreal to an extent, yes. I mean, I have to view it as real, like to an your view of the whole fight camp and everything. You've got to make it real. You got to make it the realest of the real. But at the same time, you have a surreal feeling. So, if that makes sense at all, it is almost unbelievable that this is happening at the same time, but it's just I'm so honored to have this opportunity. So, yeah, it's real. It's just it takes you a while to process.
So, how do you take advantage of this opportunity and make it the night that you've always dreamed of?
I intend to showcase exactly what I've learned, how I've grown in the sport, show her the difference between bare knuckle boxing and boxing. I intend to put on a show, and it's my time. This is my time. I've worked my ass off. I've went through adversity. I have went through things that people shouldn't have to go through, which I know a lot of people do. But this is the moment that all that is going to pay off, and not a single soul is going to take it from me. I will be the 145 world champ.
So you can call her the bad guy or the instigator, but April 5th, she plans on having everyone call her champ.
Yes, absolutely. You said it perfectly. Be humble, but let motherfuckers know.
Who came up with the motto?
The shirt. I don't know who did, but it was a good one.
I thought it might have been a shift motto.
Well, Dave Mundell actually has the same shirt too, so maybe it kind of is. But I do feel like I'm kind of known. I thought I was very humble. In MMA, I've never made any noise. I never bare knuckles just been different. There's been a lot more shit talking. I feel like it's kind of part of bare knuckle. It's kind of part of the show, you know? And it kind of is with MMA too, but it just wasn't as much. So it's just it's part of the show.
And one last question, real quick, about the gym. What have you felt about being in that environment has benefited your style and your elevate and your evolution the most?
Oh man, everything. Honestly, everything. When you find the gym that is just the perfect fit, it's the perfect fit for your style, it's the perfect fit for the sport that you're in. It's a game changer. It really is all the way around. I couldn't be more thankful for my team.
Couldn't be more thankful to have got this time to talk to you tonight. Jessica Borga, thank you so much.
No, thank you too. I appreciate it.